Hello everybody, it's Deborah Sanders from Sotheby's International here in Carmel. And I had recently done a video talking and explaining the broker-buyer agreement, which is set to be implemented here shortly in mid-August. This is a result of the National Association of Realtors settlement, and it's going into effect, as I mentioned, in August. So I explained that before, but a brief overview is a buyer and their agent will be required to sign the buyer-broker agreement before they visit any properties. And there are numerous ways you can do it. You can do a single property, you can do limited properties of 3, or you can kind of have a more open broker-buyer agreement where you agree that your agent will take you to multiple properties. And again, it's generally a short term, maybe 3 months, could be 30 days or even 1 day if you want. And then it's just the agreement that must be kept between the two of you. Now, if a buyer would like, they can ask the seller to pay for the compensation of the buyer's agent. And that would occur in the negotiation process of submitting your offer in contract and then asking the seller if they'll pay. Maybe some sellers will pay and maybe some sellers will not, but it gives the buyer the opportunity to see if the seller will pay. We are hopeful that sellers will continue to pay because it's an advantage for them to get more buyers to see their properties, because if they don't, the incentive for a buyer to go to that property might be less. Again, agents are going to show you any property you want as a buyer, but you may opt as a buyer not to see the house or not to make an offer because you know that the seller, if the seller's not willing to negotiate with you. All right, so a couple of forms that go along with the conversation you will have with your agent. And by the way, you want to sit down with your agent. They're going to explain the process. They're going to explain your services. And then they're going to ask you, if you can, to fill out what is called a buyer financial and personal information form. It's very easy. It just, talks about who is your lender, what is your loan amount, what's your price range, what type of interest rate are you getting, and if there are any nuances like, are you representing someone as a power of attorney, is this going to be a 1031 exchange, etc. So that's one form. The other form is the buyer identification of preferences. And so this one is useful for both of us, for the buyer and the agent. So we understand very clearly what it is you're looking for. It asks you questions like, what type, is it a single family? Are you looking for a condo? Do you have to have a garage? What are essentials for you when we're looking for something? So we don't waste your time and ours looking for things that you don't want. So it's just establishing clarity in exactly what the buyer is going to be looking for when they purchase a home. So those are the two forms, and then of course the buyer-broker agreement. You will have a deep and a careful discussion with your buyer's agent, and ask your questions. And we want everybody to feel comfortable. I think we'll all get used to this very soon, but change is always difficult, and none of us like it. So I represent buyers and sellers here on the Monterey Peninsula. So if you have questions about the location here, neighborhoods, or anything to do with what I've just talked about, you can reach me at DeboraSandersRealtor.com. And I wish you a very good day.